Hey guys, Jacob here. Hey, I want to talk to you guys about the EMP that everybody's raving about. When the elite do something, when the powers that be, cabal, whatever you want to call them, deep state, doesn't matter. Sorry it's dark, I'm on my way to work. When they do something, A, they let you know before they do it. B, right before they do it and how they're going to do it, they drop hints, clues, and to be quite honest with you, the writing's on the wall. I mean, literally, you just have to open your eyes and see. It's all there. They reveal everything and exactly how they're going to do it. Look back in history, look back in every false flag, look at the drills they ran before the false flag that happened to occur during the drills. Everything is there. And they're very, very sloppy about how they orchestrate and try to pull these things off. Obviously, the general public, the dead ones, the sleep ones, the ones that are bought and sold, they buy into it. But for us that are awake, we see through it. We quickly get into investigating the whole scenario, the whole false flag. Well, here's something I want you to think about. We already know that the military has addressed Congress, told them about the EMP, which they've been warning about for about 6 months. I know there was some shakeup in 2016, but it's really been hitting hard now that North Korea is a major issue. So here it is. 90% of Americans will be killed by the EMP. You have to ask yourself this question. In what part of the year could an EMP do the most damage? That's a big question. That's a big clue. And really, I know people's got to be wondering, an EMP, we all know what electromagnetic pulse is. We all know what it does. Nothing would work. Okay, well, civilization has lived without electricity and gas heat for thousands of years. They've managed just fine. The problem is the culture was different. And you're probably thinking, yeah, we've already thought of this. Modern conveniences, people's going to go crazy. It ain't about going crazy. It's about smarts. An EMP let off at a certain time of a year would cripple the United States. And I'm telling you, you're not going to have looters and rioters as much in the streets when it's 10 degrees. They are going to be somewhere where they are warm or trying to stay warm. The winter. I believe the EMP could take place in the winter when it's cold. We know they're modifying the weather. That's a no-brainer. Who's to say they don't bring about a very cold winter this year for the entire United States? I mean, look, a couple years ago we had snow in Texas. We had snow in places that snow usually doesn't fall. Big heads up, hey, we're testing it. We're seeing how well this works. So who's to say they don't dump a foot of snow from one coast to the next, and then a week later it's -2 degrees, 10 degrees, whatever. And then boom, lights go out. You're gonna have people you're gonna have people freeze to death before they starve to death. No joke. Something to think about, because I know how it is to prep. You're never really prepared and you never really have enough. What looks to be enough typically wouldn't last as long as you would like it to. Rationing food is extremely hard, especially when you're used to just eating at will. Food is literally around every corner. So my advice to you is, while you still have time, while you still have the availability, the funds, the job, and you can still go from one place to the next without having to walk, seriously, you guys need to really look into what did they do in the 1800s? How did they prepare their food? How did they prepare and preserve food back then. And then you need to go out and you need to buy the supplies to do so, because you're going to need to do it. Because whatever's in your freezer, EMP goes off in the summertime, they're going to have chaos in the streets. EMP goes off in the wintertime, most people are more likely to stay inside. They're not going to go outside, open the doors in their house, and let out all the heat. They're going to freeze to death in their house. More than likely, that's what will happen. You're going to have your typical thieves that go out and loot, of course, but a majority of the population will freeze to death in their houses. You need to start learning how to survive. You need to start learning how to preserve food, how to preserve water. That's another big kicker. You need to start learning these things, and you need to learn them fast, and you need to start peckermint. Peckermint is a great food source. Stuff will last up to 50 years, and it tastes great. Problem is, it takes about a whole weekend to make it. I mean, virtually, you do nothing. You've got to dehydrate a lot of stuff. The tallow, boiling down the tallow, that's a chore. That's about it just depends. But it's a chore. It's a chore. It takes about all weekend to make a brick. And you got to figure 4 to 6 people, that brick, it's not a lot. It's not a lot. So, my advice, get on board, wake up, start learning how they did things back in the 16, 17, 1800s, because you're going to need it. You're going to need it. I'm Jacob. I'm out.